Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am glad to be back. It has been quite a while since I posted a video and it is March 8th already. I don't know how that happened, it just flew by, but I just got back from Tennessee and from Georgia. I was at a Bible school for a week, was in Georgia for a few days, and so I'm finally back. Good to be back in Colorado. As fun as it was going home and seeing people and going to Bible school, I am very glad to be back in my beautiful new state. Today's video is my February wrap up, and I'm combining it with a February book haul because I hit the worst reading slump ever in February. And I was doing the Brighter Winter Challenge, as you know, if you've watched my videos, and I think I just got burnt out trying to fulfill prompts. As fun as it is, and as fun as it is to plan and all of that, I just got to the point where it wasn't fun. I mean, it was fun, but I was just getting tired. And also February was super busy. We had company a lot, and so getting ready for that, and then trips, and all the things just added up. I only read 2 books in February, or I've only finished 2 books. I started a few more that are just going to go over into March. But yes, the 2 books I did read, I really enjoyed. And I'm honestly, so I did not complete the Brighter Winter Challenge for February. I did for January, but February it didn't happen. And I'm kind of almost glad, like I'm not glad that I didn't do it, but I am glad because I think I put too much pressure on myself to just do it. And that's one thing with BookTube is, especially when you're doing a readathon or a challenge, you just feel the pressure to do it. And it's not that anyone else is putting pressure on you, but you put pressure on yourself. I don't know, that was just information you probably didn't want to know, but I think it was good for me to fail. Like, I didn't fail. I don't think of it as a failure, but I didn't complete it. And so anyways, I'm still going to talk about the 2 books that I read. I gave them both 5 stars. I loved them. I don't know how much, I feel like it's going to be a very incoherent wrap up because it has been a long time since I finished these books and so much has happened. I don't know how much I'll be able to say, but here are the books that I read in February. Man, I missed my espresso machine. I am happy to be back. The first book that I finished, this was I read this to fulfill the prompt, 2 prompts actually. One was to do a book exchange with a friend, so I borrowed this from Carmen. She chose this book for me to read, and it also fulfills the prompt for multiple POVs, and that is The Widow of Larkspur Inn by Lawana Blackwell. I loved this book. I loved the characters. It is not super plot heavy, and I'm learning that I actually really enjoy character driven books, and just funny things that happen. I laughed out loud. I cried a little bit. It's so sweet, and it is about a widow who loses everything because of some debts her husband has, and they move to an inn that is theirs, and they turn it into a boarding house, I think that's what it was. So yeah, it's not an inn anymore, but people stay there more permanently. And all of the characters I loved. Oh, I'm not even remembering what her name is. Julia. I love Julia. I love Fiona and Philip. Like, I just loved the characters in this, and I got teary at the end, and I'm really excited to continue the series. So I highly recommend this book. I will say it is definitely more slower paced, so if you're not into slow paced historical fiction, maybe not go for this one, especially it's just more character driven and not plot heavy. But yes, I highly recommend this book. 5 stars. And then I read my second Laura France book, A Bound Heart. I loved this book so much. It's another one that's a little slow, and like Laura France, it's kind of slow burn, but it's so worth it. Like I love her settings, and I don't know, just both books I've read by her have been really amazing. Oh my, what is this even about? It's so hard. I feel like it's really hard to describe Laura France books. Basically, Lark lives in, where is it? So Lark lives in Scotland. I think it's kind of on an island, and she works like at a castle for the Laird, I think it's called. I don't know. There were many terms. Right at first, it was hard for me to get into this because of all the Scottish terms, but it gets easier to understand with time. So that's just a little warning. But she is accused of murder and is sent away along with some other people, and I don't really want to say much else because yeah, there's a little bit of a love triangle, just like slightly. We love to see it. That's always fun. But my goodness, I loved this book. Oh my goodness. I love going back and looking at things I underlined. My heart. So I also highly recommend this. I think another reason that I hit a slump in February is because both of these books were slower paced historical fiction, and then another book I started was also historical fiction, and it was not as slow paced, but it does have more detail, and it was like a 500-page book. So I think that did have something to do with it. Maybe my choice of books was not smart. But you know what? 2 books in February, both 5 stars. We're gonna count that as a win. And yeah. Okay, now for the book haul. I'm not putting these in any particular order. Kind of all over the place. And there may be a few missing that I got in February that I forgot to write down. But you know what? We're gonna go with it. I thought this would just be kind of fun to do because, you know, I do acquire books every month pretty much. So I love book hauls. I thought I might as well throw this in here, especially since it was going to be a short wrap up. But so I got a series. It's called Bonnets and Bugles series by Gilbert Morris. And if I'm not mistaken, these are young adult or maybe they're middle grade. Honestly, youth fiction. So I got these because I wanted to read them and see if my youngest sister would enjoy them or if they would be appropriate for her. I love Gilbert Morris so much. So the books in this series, and I'm not positive if this is all of them, but it's at least the first 3. So it's Drummer Boy at Bull Run, Yankee Bells in Dixie, and The Secret of Richmond Manor. And got these at our thrift store here, and I'm excited to read them and see what Gilbert Morris's writing for youth is like, because I love his writing otherwise. Another book I got at the thrift store was The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. I've actually read this one, but I think it's just the cutest book and the sweetest story with the cutest illustrations, and the deeper meaning in this is just, I love it, and it's beautiful, and I'm excited to reread it. I think the illustrations are just so precious. Oh wait, this is, I remember the cake. I love this page. I remember this page from when I read it. Do you have a favorite saying? Asked the boy. Yes, said the mole. What is it? If at first you don't succeed, have some cake. I see. Does it work? Every time. So yeah, I thought that was adorable. The next book is also one I've read, Crazy Love by Frances Chan. I found this at our library. They have books for sale from like donations, And I think my parents have a copy, but I wanted my own copy. And this is the revised and updated version. So I don't know when I will ever read, I don't know when I'll reread this, but I know I want to eventually. So super happy to find this one. Another book that I've already read, Pax by Sarah Pettypacker, correct? Yes. Illustrated by John Klassen. I feel like John Klassen, or Clausen, is a very popular illustrator and writes his own books. But I have a copy of this in Georgia, but it got water damaged. And I was holding on to it because I still wanted the book. But Carmen found me this in the thrift store and I snatched it, and it's in beautiful condition. And I love this story. It's a great middle grade. It is sad though, so yes, just a warning. Next, oh my goodness, I got an entire series, which I'm so excited about. I've read 2 of the books, and the final 2 I have not read yet, but I want to. That is The Kensington Chronicles by Lori Wick. Hawk and the Jewel is number 1. Wings of the Morning, number 2. Who Brings Forth the Wind, number 3. This is the next one that I need to read. And then The Knight and the Dove, number 4. I love The Hawk and the Jewel. I read it several years ago. I've read it several times. I also really enjoyed Wings of the Morning. Love it. And I'm super excited to read these. So I was so happy when Carmen told me that she had the entire series. So look for the book reviews for the last 2 books coming soon. I don't know when I'll read it, but another book that I've had, or that I've wanted and heard about for a long time, is The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. I think there's the movie The Case for Christ. I really enjoyed that movie when I watched it. It's been several years, so yeah, but I don't know what the book is gonna be like. I think it's kind of his story of searching. I'm assuming it's similar to the movie, but snagged this at the thrift store. Most of these are from the thrift store, so that's just a look into my book buying life. Go to the thrift store and find all the books. So yeah, another one I got from the thrift store. This is so random, but I saw it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna snag it because I might want it one day. And I've actually started reading it. That is Emily Dickinson Collected Poems. Yeah, it's just a collection of Emily Dickinson's poems. Yeah, I feel like I want to try more poetry and expand my vocabulary in my thinking capacity and brain, and I feel like this is gonna help with that. So I was excited to snag this one. And then the last book I also got this at our library sale, and it is, I think it's such a unique book, and it's not one that I'll like read. It's not one like I'll just normally read, like you read a story, but it is War Letters, edited by Andrew Carroll. Basically, it is a collection of letters that was sent through different wars. Like, I think it has the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and the Cold War, and like different, there's more wars too. But I think that's so cool, and I didn't buy it to just like read it through its entirety like consecutively, but I thought that it would be super cool to just have on my shelf. Maybe one day it would be fun to read with my kids if I homeschool. Like, I just think it'd be, at least if the letters are appropriate. So I can't necessarily recommend it because I haven't read it, but I thought it was super interesting, and I'll probably read a few letters every now and then. So, and also I mean, if I never read it, it's a beautiful addition, like for decor and what have you. So hi. Okay. Sorry, my sister came in here. But yeah, and it's like actually a pretty expensive book, almost $30, and it was donation, so I paid like a few bucks for it, so couldn't pass this up. But I think that is all for February's reading and book buying. It was a great month, not the best reading month I've had. It was one of the lesser reading months that I've had in years. I don't remember the last time I've only read 2 books. It was probably, or 2 books a month. It was probably like early 2020 or something like that. I don't know. But I'm excited for March. I'm currently reading a few books and enjoying them. And I'm excited to see what March has. March, I decided I am not making a TBR. I have my Read Your Bookshelf Challenge book that I need to read. I haven't 100% decided on that yet, but that is like the only book I'm forcing myself to read, besides a book I have to read for class, but like whatever. I just feel like Mood Reading March is a good term to use for this month, because I feel like that's what I need. And I'm excited to see what I read, and I will talk to you guys about it in my next wrap up. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Inhales coffee aggressively.